I hate this guy, man.
Okay.
I love what Maxie said.
I did sort of like a sci-fi western thing, so it's kind of out there. Fade into the Alamo, seen vaguely on the little flyer. And then Two Slim's got a robotic eye, puffing on a cigar right there. Says, "No sir, just don't seem right." And then in the background, Woody Paul says, "What don't seem right, Two Slim?" And then it focuses on what I figured, I didn't know what a squeeze box was at the time, so I figured Joey to be like an MP3 player with a face on him. So Two Slim cigars sitting there in the ashtray, and then Woody Paul is working on his thing. Two Slim says, "Miss Marm's taking kids across the prairie to visit the Alamo. Why, beyond the valley there be dangers aplenty." Woody Paul says, "Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine." "Woody Paul, what are you doing?" And then he jumps up into the camera. You know, he's got his contraption, his robotic hand and a robotic jaw. It's very sci-fi. Says, "It's a time-saving clock." Two Slim, "A time-saving clock?" Woody Paul, "Most clocks just tell the time." Flips the switch, hands it to Two Slim. Time seems to slow down. It's sci-fi, so maybe they have the technology to actually slow down time. So, "Yep, that is their purpose, Woody Paul." He flips it back up, gives it back to Two Slim. "Well, you're always saying you wish you had more time to do this, that, or the other thing. Well, now you have more time." And then Joey plays that theme out of the speaker. Two Slim, "Thank you, Joey the Cowpoke King." Camera focuses on Two Slim as he speaks, and then focuses on Woody Paul in the foreground. "Now, Woody Paul, remember when one of your contraptions opened up that, what did you call it? Modulated transtemporal gateway. That's the one. Well, we've been dealing with those consequences ever since." He peers down at the flyer again, Woody Paul. "So what are you going to do about Miss Marm's trip?" "I don't rightly know." "Why don't you ask Ranger Doug?" And then in comes Ranger Doug, and there's riders in the background on their robotic horses. No, the horse flies on the windshield. I wasn't quite sure what to do with that. It's a robot, so maybe they either have robotic horse flies or their flies spattered all over the windshield. "So how have you been, Turbo?" "Oh, a bit sweaty, and the horse flies are biting early this year, but other than that, no complaints." Maybe it's sort of an electronic buzz sound, like a Windows Sam speak.
One of those electric bug killers.
Yeah. And then I had a tough time interpreting the script, so I wasn't sure if they knew that he could talk or something, but I didn't think about it being the flyer.
Remember, this is animation. Everything goes.
Okay.
Think of what's that car that'll talk? Knight Rider. In the Knight Rider, of course, the dashboard would talk, and then one step beyond that would be like, "Danger, Will Robinson! Danger, Will Robinson!"
Like Alpha 5 Power Rangers.
Flash from the past. "Ranger Doug, have you seen this?" And he says, "I have, my crusty saddle companion." And then Woody Paul, as he's sort of confused, he's like, "He's saying you're crusty or saying your saddle's crusty?" And then there's an upward shot to Ranger Doug's face. He's sort of gloomy, and he's caught in his own sort of trance of, "As we all know, I am the keeper of the cowboy way, and the possessor of all hidden knowledge of the plains. Yes, on that faithful day in the gas swamps of Dagobah, East Texas, when the master Yellow imparted me its secrets of." And then there's an overhead shot panning across the prairie. "Ranger Doug, Miss Marm is planning a field trip across the open prairie. We can't let her go alone."
What do you think of that presentation?
Amazing.
Is it amazing?
It makes more sense according to the script because they tell about the technologies that is involved in Western times. So
Yeah.
it makes it Western. Yes.
I can't push it enough. You guys are allowed to advance the story in directions, just because especially here, you have that luxury. Down the way, if you're working on Casper the Ghost, well, you want Casper the Ghost, okay? But you can't, but here's you have this great freedom, and I was sort of looking at these guys, and I was thinking to myself, this could also be like, it could be military characters. It could be special forces or something like that. They don't want Miss Marm to still go across the prairie because there's danger aplenty in that desert. Whatever bizarre country it may be in or something like that. Lots of opportunity there. What do you think of the drawings?
Amazing.
It looks very realistic and
You can see them?
Yes, the bridge, the form of the nose. nose and the mustache and the form of the human eyes.
They have a sense of contrast.
And I like how he used the details too. He used the technical details on the robotic horrors.
A couple little gizmos here and there really do wonders.
That's my son.
And the little pocket clock that you can put in there.
Sure, a pocket watch thing.
It is bizarre with Woody Paul's job. Wasn't expecting that.
Well, you know what they did that with Terminator.
Sure.
But you know, think too that I mentioned it already, I'm sure in class. But you know, George Lucas has made a whole lot of money borrowing a piece of this and a piece of that, and a piece of another thing, putting it in together and making his film out of it or something like that. You know, all things are, you know, possible. I think one thing that I remember, I need to go rent it because I have not seen it, and I'm sure you'll all make fun of me because of it. I read somewhere that there are like 13 premises to science fiction. 13, you know, alien abduction, you know, visiting another, you know, there's basically 13 rough stories that, you know, are recycled. And when they made the film Being John Malkovich, one critic had said, this person's come up with a 14th. Which is a pretty heavy duty tab to put onto into terms of a story film idea, you know. So congratulations, I think it's great. Got enough contrast. Kevin will moan and groan about contrast. This has it. You know, it's got good light to dark values. Like that last scene where you actually see characters and shadows on the ground and everything. Gives them a sense of time.